What's up everyone? Sorry this video is coming out so later than what it normally would. I think about 4 days, but if you can't tell by the way I look and sound, I've been sick. I got sick Sunday night and I'm just now starting to feel a little bit better. So the video of the part 2 oil pan will be coming out next week sometime. So this week I was just going to go through, I'm just going to go through what I paid for everything as far as the turbo setup and all the little additional stuff that I may have left out in the first episode of the How the Turbo Mazda 3, and I just want to go through that now. Here's the turbo once again, a little up close and personal. It is a Garrett TB28, and this turbo I actually got off eBay from a company called Turbo Park, and they sell brand new and remanufactured turbos, and I actually picked this one up for $249. The manifold is a high boost manifold. It's originally made for a T3 T4 turbo, and so I'm also going to throw it in there, but you can see it. It is right, if I get my hand in there, right here. There's a plate that the turbo actually sits on that was welded to it. That makes the manifold go from a T3 T4 to a T28 or T25 28. And the reason why I went this route is because I was having a hard time finding a T25 manifold anyway for this car. Instead of wanting to buy a cheap manifold off eBay, I went with a high boost because high boost has got a good reputation, at least good reviews is from what I read, and I picked that up for $100 on eBay. Okay, next is the front mount intercooler and piping. The piping in the intercooler was a universal kit. It's not really made for my car. It's just a generic kit that you buy, and it comes with a bunch of random pieces. Like it came with a 45-degree angle, it came with a couple 90-degree angles, some bunch of straight pipes and that kind of thing, and couplers and the little brackets that hold it together, which, you know, they're just little standard little brackets that you just screw in or whatever. Nothing too fancy. And you can get one of those kits. It's RDT and Motorsport, and you can see the top of the intercooler right there. And blah blah, there we go. And I picked that up for $164.96. And if you go back and watch my intro to the Mazda 3 video, I'll post that in the link below. I have pictures on that video that show, well, similar on how I installed it. And if you all are having issues installing your front mount intercooler, where to bolt stuff and that kind of thing, I'll be more than happy to show you all. Just leave a comment below if that is you. Okay, most of y'all, if I would assume so, already have a cold air intake, which is what I got going on right here, even though, like I said, it's still disconnected. But these pieces used to, you know, run from the throttle body and go on down there where, you know, where the intercooler goes. So, or you know where the cold air intake goes. So you can use this for your intake when you do your turbo. So all I did was buy a coupler, because mine's a 3-inch intake, so I had to get a 2.5-inch to a 3 coupler, and then just so happens the bend was right, went right through next to the ECU, and being able to use the current pipe that already has the mass airflow sensor bracket was great. So I didn't have to sit there and try to re-weld anything and that kind of stuff. So it's already together. So yeah, and my cold air intake, I think I paid about $40 for it, and it was also eBay. Okay, the next piece I know I didn't mention in the other video, at least I don't think I did, but I had to get this little coupler right here. Now, it's not really small, but or big, whatever. Anyway, it's a for my intercooler setup to work, I had to run, because it's only a 2-inch out on the turbo, and it's a 2.5-inch intercooler piping. So I went to Lowe's, and this is where I bought this, and this coupler only. And course, and then you put 2-inch, 2.5-inch, and bracket it down. I think that piece for me was about, I think I paid it was about $6, $7. It wasn't too expensive, but it was something that was definitely needed. Okay, on to one of my favorite pieces, the blow-off valve. There it goes. Okay, this blow-off valve, I did some research as far as which one I wanted, and it was between this one, which is the Turbo XS RFL, and the HKS Sequential. And I decided to go with this one because of its name, pretty much, and all the reviews I read on it, it seems to hold up better, and it seems to be a good application for the Mazda. A lot of speed guys, this is what they're running, is the Turbo XS blow-off valve. So, and this, I got this one off eBay as well, but you got to make sure that it's marked with a genuine part, because you can get on eBay and find these for like $100 brand new, but and more likely if it doesn't say it's genuine, then it's not genuine. So you want to make sure it says genuine. I picked this one up for about $143, and I did more research on websites and other websites, and they were going for about the same price, maybe a little bit more. So this is an actual genuine Turbo XS blow-off valve. Okay, we've talked about the oil lines before. You know, in my last video where I said they were kind of crappy, but I'm going to try to work with them before I just absolutely throw them out the door. But here is what a feed line looks like. Normally this end right here will screw into your sandwich plate down below, and this end will screw in up here on the turbo. Now the oil lines, they ran about $30. Nothing too expensive. You can get them a little bit more expensive if you need longer one, which I'm thinking that I might need it, but I'm going to try to see if I can extend it first. The sandwich plate, I think that was about, I think I paid about $25, $30 for it as well, and all that was on eBay. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I have a bunch of these little pieces like this roaming around here, and that's actually how I pieced some of the stuff together for the oil lines to work originally before I bought the restrictor that I'm going to get to next. But these little doodads, you can go to Lowe's or I think Home Depot sells them too, and just take your lines in there and see which ones fit up, and you can, like, say one of your ends of your line does not fit in your current turbo or whatever it is that you're trying to hook it up, then you can fit it up to where it comes out to be the exact fit that you need. Here's the Doughwell plug. There it is right there. Here it is from the inside of the pan. I would also recommend that when you're drilling your hole and you're going to use one of these, to make sure you drill your hole more symmetrical than I did, between this little piece here and this little piece right here, because it's going to be very, very hard to get that to screw on there real tight. But anyway, that's another subject. But that's the Doughwell plug, and that was about $20 on eBay. Okay, on to the downpipe. You can kind of see it. I'll get a shot from underneath as well. But the downpipe, I had to customize this a little bit because they didn't make a downpipe for the TB28. So I had bought a downpipe that was made for, it could have been a T3, T4, I don't know, but it was made for the Mazda. So it goes in the general direction where you need it to go. And I bought this, I had to buy this, whoop, focus, there we go. As you can see, it needs a little work. There's got a little gap right there. But anyway, I had to buy this little inlet piece right here, and I welded it myself, as you can tell, and to make it all work. Now the whole downpipe was $110, and that little housing thing that I had to buy to go on with it was about $90. Okay, so some of the other things that I had to do this car to just get it ready for the turbo I went ahead and did the clutch and flywheel. It does not have the stock clutch and flywheel in it. It actually has the ACT street race clutch, and I can't remember exactly the model that I used. I'll have to look that up. I'll leave it down in the description below for those of you that are interested. But the clutch, that was probably one of the most expensive things I bought. It ran me almost $385. And I have a Fidenza lightweight and flywheel, and it was $325. But it's well worth it. And I did not buy the clutch and the flywheel off eBay. I can't remember the website I bought it from. I think I bought the ACT clutch actually from the ACT website. And the flywheel, I think it was the same way. I think I bought it from Fidenza. I can't remember. Okay, well, I know it's not really a good shot of this, but this is my suspension setup. And it's a little dirty. But, you know, that's besides the point. Let's see if we can get down in there. There we go. Okay, and you can kind of see the tag. It has the KYB GR2 shocks and struts, and you know, a lot of people go back and forth with how you pronounce the springs. It's either Tyne or Teen or however you pronounce it. It's that brand, T-E-I-N. And I've had these before on my 240SX I used to own, and I loved them. So when I bought this car, that's what I went with for this one. So, and it's really good with the way they perform, especially for the price. Now, the KYBs, or the shocks and struts, ran about $277, and those came off of eBay. And the Tyne S-Tech springs, they usually run for close to $200, but I got them for $100. I bought them used, and I've actually bought them from the Mazda3forums.com. And if you're not familiar with that forum, I would get familiar with it, because you can find a bunch of good stuff on there. I've gotten all kinds, well, I've tried to get all kinds of stuff on there. It's one of those where once it posts, if you're not one of the first ones to see it, it's probably already gone. But I got lucky and scored these S-Tech springs, and I love it. It handles great. Here is my muffler that I chose to go with. It is the Megan Racing muffler. That's the one that looks like a stock muffler, and has a nice little aggressive chrome tip. I think it looks pretty good, and it also has the Megan Racing implemented on the side of the tip here. And I have custom piping ran from Catback. It's straight pipe from Catback. And the muffler itself, got it on eBay for $110. And the custom piping was another $80 on top of that. So almost $200 for the exhaust. Okay, so the wheels, I always thought they were just kind of basic, but I get a lot of compliments on them, which I bought them with the road rash already on them. So before anybody flips out and they're like, oh, this guy curbs his wheels. Well, no, that's not from me. My plan was to redo these wheels, and I just haven't got around to doing it yet. But I gave $200 for the set, or no, sorry, it was $250. Bought them used, obviously. And two of the tires, when I got them, were still good, and two of the tires were not. Now, the tires that I have on this currently are Kumho's. They are, let's see if I can get over to the tire size. Let's see, I don't know if you can see there or not. Okay, 225/40 ZR18s. And these are the, which I'm not sure how you, I know there's a way you can say it, but they are the ECST 4X. Wait, ECSTA 4X? Is that how you say that? I don't know, but I've heard they're a pretty good tire. They got pretty good reviews. I think they usually run about $125 a tire or something like that, and I picked them up actually brand new from a guy for $250. They were just sitting in his garage. He bought it for his speed and he never installed them. So these tires right now probably have maybe 200 miles on them, if that. So there's my wheel and tire setup. Here it goes, Pro Sport. Yep. And this also, guess what, came from eBay. And I paid I think about $70 for this one. Innovate Motorsports is the brand on it. And that one cost me a little bit more. I paid about $160 for it. But it came with its own O2 sensor and everything that just wires right into your downpipe. Okay, so I might be leaving out something, but that's pretty much all the performance right now anyway. So I'm just going to kind of go over a couple more cosmetic stuff that I've done to the car since I've had it, and just to kind of give you all ideas of something that you could upgrade yours to. So my headlights started oxidizing real bad, so I upgraded my headlights to these projector headlights. And these came off eBay, and I'm trying to remember what I paid for them. I think these I gave, it was about $150, I think. I went with the badgeless grill, and this also came from eBay, and it was only about $30. You know, I remember it wasn't that expensive. I replaced my Mazda emblem with the Mazda speed emblem. Now, as you notice, there is a little hole right there, because that's, for some reason, they made the holes. They made holes for these emblems that just stick on. Something I was planning on eventually fixing, but haven't thus far. I don't know if I will get around to it. Maybe eventually. Other emblem, the Excel emblem. And I've actually had people ask me if this car was imported, because this is what they call the Mazda 3 in Japan. And I liked it, and I thought it looked good. It just made the rear end kind of pop a little different, something different than just seeing the Mazda 3 on the back. And there's the emblem I'm contemplating on taking off. And if anybody knows, if this has holes in the back, please let me know, because if it does, I'm probably going to leave it. But if it does not, it's probably going to come off. Okay, so my car originally did not come with the stock spoiler, and I wanted the stock spoiler. And then someone asked me, why don't you get a better, bigger, awesome spoiler? Well, if you could tell in that initial video, for a while I was running a SRT4 spoiler on it. A buddy of mine gave it to me, so I was like, well, it fits the car pretty decent, but it's just too big. I just didn't like it, so I went and got a pre-painted spoiler, and I like it. It looks really good. Now I bought one of these back windshield spoilers. I've been contemplating if I'm actually going to keep it or not. It doesn't really stay on there really good, and I don't know. Like, I like it, but at the same time I'm like, yeah, I don't know. But let me know what you all think, if that's something that I should keep on there. I wanted to do a hood scoop on my car, right? So I actually found this, and I wanted something that it was metal and I could weld into the car. Well, I found exactly that. This came off, it was in the early 90s, a Toyota Celica, the turboed version. I can't remember, GST, I think that's what it was called. I can't remember, but somebody, I guess, had wrecked theirs, and they cut out where the scoop is, and it didn't have the insert, so I'm going to try to find the insert, but I thought it was pretty awesome. So I was going to try to fabricate this onto my Mazda 3 hood. Be welded in, molded in, and the hood scoop I got for $30 on eBay. Okay, I think that's about it. I was trying to think of anything else that I missed, and right now I can't think of anything else. That's pretty much the basic. I haven't done like a whole lot to my car, but that's what I've done thus far. And if y'all have any questions at all, please leave in the comments below, which I know you guys have. And I hope this video is more informative for the ones that are getting ready to jump into turboing their Mazda 3. And please leave me any feedback, any good, bad. If it's bad, I might ignore it. But anyway, if you don't mind, please hit that subscribe button below. And thank you for the ones that have subscribed. We're now up to almost double digits, so that excites me. And because the more subscribers, the more videos. So, and go ahead and like the video if you don't mind, and also share it. You know, if it's something that you think it might help out somebody else in the tuner world. So, as for now, see you later, and I hope y'all have a great week. And stay tuned for next week for part 2 of the oil pan install, removal, the well plug, whatever it is we were doing.